Welcome into a Thanksgiving week edition of the RAS College Football Show. This is technically week 14. Wow, we are here. It takes forever to get here, and it's gone in a flash. I am John Martin, of course, my man here, one of the best in the game, Eddie Walls. We've got a jam-packed show for you today. It's not just the biggest games. Is it going to be like last week where Eddie goes through the entire card for 45 minutes? Absolutely not. All right. That's not what we're going to do today. But it's still going to be, we hope, worth your time and worthwhile as we go through some of the biggest games on the card. Eddie, good to see you as always. And like we do every week, what is your best bet for week 14?
Yeah, I was just looking for the rotation number and I couldn't find it. So I was searching up and down for it. But it is going to be a side. I don't think I've ever given a side as a best bet. Maybe, I don't know, maybe last year or something like that. But I mean, I talked about it with a couple of people, and it's going to be Tulsa -7.5. And there's a couple of things here. First of all, UAB had a member of their defensive line stab two of his teammates last week. 5 starters didn't play in that game. The coach is not going to be back next year. This is his final game ever being on the sideline as a head coach. I'd imagine he's probably already looking for offensive coordinator job somewhere else for UAB, and they're eliminated from everything, as is Tulsa. But Tulsa has done something extraordinary in the last couple of weeks. They blew out Oregon State. I was on the under in that game, and I mean, they could have scored like 50 points. It was pretty gnarly. And then they go to Army and beat Army outright last week, and they were very much alive in that game the entire time. So we have two teams heading in completely different directions. I'm pretty sure UAB just wants to get this game over with. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I saw somebody get stabbed and he was a teammate of mine, I probably wouldn't be in the mood to play. So
I can't believe they played the game last week.
I can't either. They probably should have canceled that game.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's uncharted territory for sure. So yeah, it's going to be Tulsa game 390 at 1:00 Mountain. So I guess 3:00 Eastern. I mean, I normally give out a closing line value. You know, I try to get as much closing line value as possible, but I made this game like 10 to begin with. And then with all the stuff going on, I don't think 10 is right either. I mean, I don't know if UAB shows up here. I know UAB has a rah coach, and they've really been working on a lot throughout the year. They're a team to watch for next year, but I think that they go out and kick some ass for a season finale on senior day. So it felt like the right side for me.
All righty, let's get to it here on week 14 of the RAS College Football Show. We're just going to kind of go in order here. Rotation number. This one has just gotten really weird with coaching rumors and speculation. Ole Miss, Mississippi State. It is the Egg Bowl. You know, crazy things always happen in this game, regardless of the outside surroundings. Ole Miss favored by a touchdown here with a total of 62.5. Eddie.
Yeah, I played over at 62.5. I'm surprised it's still there, to be quite honest with you. Mississippi State doesn't have a defensive line, and they have a lot of defensive injuries. I always thought, like, Mississippi State's going to beat Ole Miss here pretty soon while Lane's there. They just need a great offense to do it because they both play with they play super fast, too many possessions in this game for 62.5. And I thought that Chapin has really come into form. He found, I mean, let's face it, the job that he's done at Mississippi State this year is unbelievable considering the budget that they have to work with. This is a huge game for them. I mean, if they win this game, they go to a bowl. They possibly knock Ole Miss out of the playoff. It's Lane Kiffin. I don't think he's going to stay at Ole Miss. I mean, if he's going to stay at Ole Miss, then he would have already said, I'm going to stay at Ole Miss. Like,
I agree.
What's the reason for an announcement? Like, you don't need to announce if you're not leaving. So I don't trust Ole Miss's defense as much as everybody else does. I know people think that they're really, really good and all that, but I don't know, man. I saw Georgia, who's pretty pedestrian on offense, put up like 49 on them. Some of their EPA on defense doesn't add up for me either. And I trust Chambliss to get the ball in the end zone. I don't really like a side here. You can't tell me that the distraction doesn't mean something. I think it means a lot. I mean, if you made this game 7 or 6.5, without the distraction, then I'd like to figure out where your numbers are coming from because I think it's probably closer to 10. But how do you trust a team that literally the coach is saying, like, I'm going to know where I'm going after the game while they're en route to go to the playoffs? That's absolutely crazy. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in college football that I don't know how to handicap because it's never been done before. I mean, We just got done talking about a teammate stabbing somebody. We got coaches.
Not funny. It's just
coaches
crazy. Yeah.
naming schools and naming coaches in week 11 and week 12. I mean, like, usually this is all kind of stuff that's in my wheelhouse. I do mostly subjective handicapping, as everybody knows. But I mean, like, I've never experienced, like, a coach being named in week 12 while the other coach is still trying to prepare his team to play games. Never had a coach say, like, yeah, directly after this game, I'm going to announce my new destination while my team is in the playoffs.
Yep.
Like, it's just, man, college football is becoming a circus. It's just, I'm so in love with it all. I mean, it's so ridiculous. Like, all of it is just so dumb to me, and it's just so great. Like, everything about it is just wonderful. Anyway, all right, moving on.
Truly is. All right, moving right along. I know this one is big for the service as well. Arizona at Arizona State. Arizona -1.5 here with a total here of 48, Eddie.
Yeah, I mean, we're rooting for Arizona State as a service. We gave out a regular season win total of over 8.5. They'll clinch that with this win if they get it. I mean, we didn't suspect that Sam Leavitt would be out the final 6 weeks of the season. They've dealt with massive amounts of injuries. I mean, their All-American wide receivers played about 5 games in total with snap count. But they're still right there. I'm not a huge fan of their coach. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't like coaches that do an hour-and-a-half presser about themselves. He's got a huge ego, but I do think that they're more talented, specifically on defense. They're going to run the ball. They're not going to throw the ball a ton. Arizona's too good against the pass to be thrown at a ton. They're going to try and play super, super slow. I was hoping to play under, but I'm at 47. I don't have anything in this game. I made it pick in 47. Huge ASU fans for all of our service followers for the week.
There you have it. All right, a little. We're weaving in. We're weaving in and out of the group of 5 in the power structure here. Air Force, Colorado State. Air Force here laying 2 with a total of 46.5. Eddie.
Yeah, I played Air Force. Pretty aggressive. So Colorado State's quarterback and offensive guard are suspended this week for spitting repeatedly on Boise players in last week's game. They lost their other quarterback. They've gone through 4 quarterbacks this year. They're going to have to go with the running quarterback, Bullock from Akron. Air Force can stop a running quarterback, that I'm certain of. And I also think that Air Force cares a little bit more about this game. It is a border war. I think that Air Force is a superior team at this state. They've had a pretty bad run. And everybody looked at New Mexico just beating the daylights out of them last week. Well, New Mexico has legitimately like a top 40 defense, and Air Force had to, play a fullback at quarterback and everything like that. I don't care who they play at quarterback this week. Colorado State has 9 starters on defense that weren't suspected to be able to play this entire season. There's 2 freshman cornerbacks. Good luck against the option. I just think the 2 and 2.5 is crazy low. And especially, I just think the Air Force shows up for games. Colorado State takes weeks off that I don't really like watching. So,
oh yeah, Jim Mora, by the way.
Oh my God, huge hire. I mean, I don't know why he went there. I can't figure it out for the save my life.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it might be financial, but I mean, everything doesn't really add up there. I mean, Connecticut's going to the AAC next year. They've won 9 games 2 years in a row. He's a hell of a coach. He probably could have got a P4 job if he held out for one. Maybe he just loves Colorado. It's hard not to love it. I mean, you drive around and you're pretty much in awe all the time. Right. So I don't know, but yeah, I mean, the future is bright for Colorado State. I just don't like him in this game.
So you're saying that the guy wearing the Denver Nuggets hoodie thinks Colorado is just the best place on earth?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's the best place on earth for sure. No, let's not get crazy here. I mean, I've traveled a lot in my life. There's some really wonderful spots on this earth that you probably should go see. Nicaragua, Colombia,
and Denver.
Yeah, no. I definitely wouldn't say Denver. I mean, I think that just Colorado in general is pretty majestic for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love Denver personally, but like, I can see why people don't like it. It's gentrified to hell. It's expensive. The food scene is hit or miss depending on who you know.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's a great city to live in, but if I'm going to pick a city in America, it's probably Denver, but I don't think it's like the most gorgeous place. And if I was like in Jim Mora's position, I wouldn't be dying to live in Denver. I'm sure he's going to pick somewhere very, very beautiful.
Yeah. How close, by the way, is Fort Collins to Denver? Is that like
75 miles?
Oh, it's right outside.
Yeah. If you live in Fort Collins and you want to go to an event in Denver, it's not like a big deal.
All right. Well, if you host a Denver area sports betting group meeting and Jim Mora's there, just let us know.
We do one. We used to do one every single Monday of every single month at Lucille's Cafe. the first Monday of every single month at noon for all professional gamblers. And Jim Mora, if he decides to show up, sick mom or not, I'll show up.
That is
there.
fantastic stuff. I really wish we had that something in my region in Memphis. I think that's an awesome thing to do, because it can be a very lonely, as you know too well, it could be a very lonely endeavor. So I think that's a great thing you're doing. All right, moving right along here. Georgia Tech, Georgia -14, total 59.5.
Yeah, I played under in this game. And I took a horrible, probably like a top 10 beat. And I only remember this because I was with a friend of mine last year. This game took place last year. And I want to say it was 20-3 at halftime. Georgia Tech was winning. It ended up going to triple overtime. I lost in the double overtime. And I'll never forget this. I was with a friend of mine who doesn't gamble, and I had a pretty sizable wager on it. And at the end of the game, he said, "Well, you got your money's worth there, huh?" I was just like, it doesn't really work that way. But anyways, back to this game. I don't think that Haynes King can run the ball effectively against Georgia's offense. I think that Georgia is very run heavy these days. I know Georgia Tech's defense has fallen apart against teams like Pitt. I was on the over last week. I think that Georgia Tech can kind of name the score here. I'm scared to lay 14 in a rivalry game like this, but I thought that 59.5 was a little egregious. I came up with 56. I just think that Georgia Tech, as bad as they've been on defense, they're going to want to hold on to the ball. And that's the only shot they got. Like, they can't get involved in a game where they're trailing by a lot early and have to rely on passing, because they only have one good wide receiver in Rutherford. I think that Georgia contains them, but if they can just eke out first downs and kind of get this game to a crawl, that's the only way they have a chance of staying in this game. So I felt pretty good about that.
By the way, as always, if you guys have questions, let us know in the chat, and I will throw these at Eddie. Brian G says, "What do you think about Ohio State -10?" Actually, I think we're going to cover this.
That game.
We're going to cover this, so don't worry, we will get to it. Brendan asks, Kennesaw versus Liberty. Any thoughts?
Yeah,
there?
I lay the 2.5 for a little bit. I mean, Kennesaw State, if they win, and if for some reason Western Kentucky loses, then they'll get a Jacksonville State rematch, from what I think is possible. I don't know. The Conference USA and the MAC thing, it's too hard for me to understand who's playing who in the conference championship game next week. I know if Western Kentucky wins, they go.
Right.
I know that. But either way, I think that Liberty, I went from seriously thinking Jamie Caldwell was probably the best coach in America to maybe being the worst. Last week was the end of their season. They're eliminated from bowl contention, which is crazy when you look at their schedule. And their regular season win total, I believe, was 9. There's absolutely no reason why they shouldn't be bowling, but I don't know where their head's at. I know that Kennesaw is a superior team this year. Thought the 2.5 was a little bit short. I think I made it 3.5. I took a small bit of Kennesaw, not a big bet.
Got it. All right, moving right along here. Vandy at Tennessee. Tennessee laying 3 with a total of 65.5.
Yeah, it was one of the first totals I bet this week was over in this game. I bet 64.5. I would bet 65. I would bet 65.5. I would probably go a little smaller on 65.5. But by my numbers, Vanderbilt has the most efficient offense in the last 4 years from a Power 4 school standpoint. Pavia is absolutely rolling, and Tennessee plays too fast. And I said it last week, I got lucky with the over against Kentucky because Vandy did all the heavy lifting. I still don't trust this Vandy secondary. If Vandy wins this game, they go to the playoffs, which is so exciting. And I'd love to take the 3, but my numbers are like 3.5 and 67.5. So yeah, I just think that this turns into a shootout at some point in this game. Yeah, I don't want to say I ran to the window, but I felt really confident and good about it.
Got it. Miami, Pitt, Miami laying 7, total here of 50.
Yeah, I think that anybody that has followed my work knows that I bet Pitt over almost every single week, and it's been really good to me. I did not bet over in this game. I'm terrified of Miami's defense in this matchup. They don't even need to blitz to get to the quarterback very often. And Pitt gives up pretty big explosive plays on passing downs, but Miami doesn't really press the ball down the field enough for me to get excited about it. I was 51.5, and I was at Miami -6.5, 7. I probably fudged my number a little bit because I don't want to trust Cristobal in a game that he has to win under a touchdown favorite. Miami is a much more superior team, but they're playing on the road, and there's a lot on the line. I've been burned by Cristobal too many times for me to make that mistake over. So felt good about just passing.
There, you know what? That's such a fun thing to do. Just pass.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Sometimes the best play is to fold. So,
that's right.
That's
right. If you're Nikola Jokic, it's a great idea to pass. If you're betting sports, it's probably a good idea to pass too. All right. Ohio State, Michigan, Ohio State -10 total here of 43.5.
Yeah. I mean, this is a really interesting one because if you do work with numbers, there's no way that you come up with 10 for Ohio State based off of their resume this year. But if you look at the past history, 10 is probably about right. I mean, do you really feel great if you're an Ohio State backer going to this game? I mean, everything's looked so easy all year. And now you face an opponent that you've really, really struggled with. You haven't beaten in, I think, 4 consecutive seasons. You've already won the national championship. I know this is on your bucket list if you're an Ohio State player. But that being said, I didn't really do anything here. I made it 11, and I think I kind of fudged my number. I think it was like 13 to begin with, but I, again, wanted to pass on that. I can only play under. I will end up playing under if Tate or Williams, either one of them, is out. The weather isn't good. Nobody can score on Ohio State. I still don't trust the Michigan quarterback or wide receivers to hit explosive in this game. I'm at 45 with everybody even. Either one of those guys go out, I'm at like 42.5, 42. You can't run on Michigan's defense. You can pass on them. If they're missing either wide receiver, it's a huge blow, especially from the total and from my standpoint.
All right, and now that we got Ohio State, Michigan out of the way, the biggest game of the week, Troy, Southern Miss.
I mean, it is a big game. Whoever wins this game goes to the Sun Belt Championship, and that's really important to me. I mean, like, I don't know. I guess I just care less about the college football playoff and stuff like that. Like, it just
you have a soft spot for the quote unquote little guy.
Yeah, well, not only that, they just play for the love of the game, which I like.
Right.
I mean, there's some NIL, but I mean, these kids aren't getting millions of dollars or anything.
Right.
So
that's right.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, first of all, I think Southern Miss is by far and away the better team here. They have been all year. But the problem with Southern Miss happened about 3 weeks ago where their defense just started to fall apart slowly and not slowly, rapidly. And they gave up 42 points to Arkansas State last week. To Southern Alabama, who had been a pretty big under all season long until they fixed their offense once it was too late, which is a different subject. But anyways, I ended up playing over 50 this morning. I'd play over 50.5. Troy is not a team that you think of as an over, but Southern Miss can only pass the ball against Troy. They were not going to have any success running the ball. And with their problems on defense the last 3 weeks, I don't know if that continues, but I felt pretty good about playing over. So that was that's a game that, I mean, is really insignificant to these kids. I mean, whoever wins this goes to play JMU next week and in a championship game. A lot of them are probably trying to get film ready for Power 4 offers, which I think is cool. So yeah, good game.
Absolutely. All right, best bet of the week for me. I'm going to give you a Thanksgiving game. All right.
Okay.
So if you want to take some Thanksgiving action, I'm going to give that to you. We're going to take the over tomorrow. Navy Memphis over 58. There's some juiced 57.5s out there. I'd rather just take the 58 straight up here. Memphis is coming off of a bye week. I actually think both teams are off of a bye week this week. And so with that additional week for Brendan Lewis, the Memphis quarterback, to get right, I think this is just going to be a lot of fireworks. Navy does have something to play for. They can win out and maybe get some help, and they're in the American Championship game. Memphis at this point really does not have anything to play for. So I just kind of think they let it rip here in this game. Not to say that I think they're going to go out and try to lose the game, but I just think you let it all hang out in this one. Last home game of the season, last game of the season for Memphis. So I think they've been an over all year long. I think that continues against Navy, who they've always had trouble with. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this one. So we're taking 58 on Thanksgiving, over 58 Navy and Memphis. We didn't get a lot of questions this week, Eddie. I guess people are they're preemptively stuffing their faces.
I can't blame them. I mean, turkeys are cooking, buddy.
There you go.
Thank you so much, John, for everything this season. Thank you to the entire Raz team. Thanks for everybody who tunes in every single week or just tuning in for your first time.
Yes.
It's been a great season. I think the best bets did well.
Certainly yours did. Hey, we're a team. We're a team.
If we're a team, it evens out to where I think we still came out ahead. I don't.
That's right. One of us is LeBron, and one of us is Rui. That's okay.
No, thank you for everybody, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And we'll try and get a bowl game schedule figured out, so that way we can give you guys some bowl plays and go through the card with you guys then. But thanks for everybody, and have a wonderful holiday.
Yep. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And yes, like, subscribe, hit that thumbs up. We will be, keep it tuned and locked on Eddie and I's social media. We will keep you guys updated. I know that everybody at this point, it feels like Eddie is just ready for that bowl extravaganza. So we will do our best to bring it to you this year. And again, thanks everybody for tuning in, and have a great and safe Thanksgiving. And we'll catch you guys very soon. Thanks.